And as I said, if he can do that from a kid in Mozambique that doesn't speak English, what excuse have we got? Not going to happen. I wrote Model Stars, which obviously created a massive impact in the prison. I won the National Award, the Kostler Award for it. Yeah, it created a whole shift for the mindset for the prisoners. And I been trying to get that Model Stars into the hands of all of the prisoners coming in. But the person who was in charge of new prisoners induction was basically a cokehead. Yeah, he didn't care. It was all on his own stuff. And you can get all the drugs in prison. They like to order. Right? You want cocaine, you want heroin, you want spice, you want marijuana. It's just basically filling your order. It's so ubiquitous. And so I couldn't get through to this guy. Anyway, my last night before I'm leaving the next day. I've gone and done my rounds. I've said goodbye to all my students and all the people I was trying to help. And I had one guy come up and approach me. He says, "Excuse me," he says, "You're the guy that wrote Model Stars?" I'm like, "Yeah," because it was anonymous. He says, "Would you come to my cell and sign my copy?" It's an open prison. I'm like, "Well, it's not about me. I want it to be about the." He says, "No, but it mean a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we sat down, and he told me his story, which was like, heartbreaking. But he said, "Listen, I've got a question I want to ask you." He says, "I've just been put in charge of all of the new prisoners induction. The previous guy, he was a cokehead." I'm like, "Hey, no shit." Right? He got busted and he got shipped back to a B category prison. But he said, "So they've given me the job, and this helped me so much. Would you mind giving me permission to create loads of copies and give it to every new prisoner coming in? What I've been trying to get done for weeks happened the night before I was released." I think God's an architect or something, right? And I went back to my cell, and I wrote that as my magic moment number 199. And then walking out the next morning with saying, there was a surprise group of fans and students and what have you, and my 2 dogs on there, was magic moment number 200 in that whole. But it wouldn't have happened if I'd have gone back that first night after the sum-ups and said, "Oh, crap, I wasn't going to do this. How can it possibly go this way?" And I would have now started influencing probability in a different direction. God knows what would have happened there. But I'm pretty confident that it wouldn't have been the incredible adventure that unfolded from that point on. There probably wouldn't have been 200 magic moments on there. You follow? Yeah. Right? It's like, celebrate every outcome. You don't know where it's leading, so stop prejudging. Okay, and then our last one. Stay the course, play the odds, become the house, not the gambler. That's what I just explained. If you're standing there and you're a casino owner, you will have a business, the only business in the world that is guaranteed profitability mathematically. It's the only business in the world that is guaranteed to be profitable mathematically. McDonald's doesn't do that. Microsoft can't do that. Yeah, that requires marketing, staying ahead of the competition, a few other things that I'll be teaching you over the next couple of days. But casinos, the reason they're so controlled by mafia is because it's guaranteed to be profitable on the numbers. So if you know that you're playing roulette and you're doing black and red, you have a 48 to 52 chance of winning. Because in the US, you have a 0, green, and a double 0. In Europe, we just have 1 0, which you can't bet on if you're betting on black and red. So it shifts the odds slightly in the house's favor because one spin in 48 or whatever the numbers are, it'll come up green. You follow? It shifts the odds in the house's favor. So if I'm the house and I've got somebody coming in every night playing black and red on roulette, I know that I have to lose $48,000 to win $52,000, or lose 49 to win 51, depending on how many zeros. So am I worried if somebody walks out of my casino winning $10,000? No, because the odds are in my favor. I'm the house. Some of you get bitch about the fact that you lose money in your life on your roulette, and guess what? As soon as you get upset, you become the gambler, not the house. As soon as you start celebrating only the positive, you become the gambler. Now, it doesn't mean to say you can't win. But over time, the house always wins over time. So now I celebrate. If I see somebody walking out of my casino with 20 grand, I'm yay! I've got to lose another 18 grand to win. And it shakes that out over time because that's mathematics. Now, it does take around 8 weeks, depending on the nature of the goal, to really start building momentum. You will see if you follow the rule set correctly, you can see instantaneous results, especially around lowering importance and having solutions present themselves. That's easy. But it takes around about 8 weeks to build momentum, depending on how high the goal is, what you want to manifest. Again, going from a kid who can't speak English to Will Smith's assistant flying in private jets, there's steps that have to go through. If you want to be a concert pianist at the Royal Albert Hall, but you're on currently like level 3 piano, it's not going to happen tomorrow. If you want to win the Mr. Olympia and right now you're skinny, it's not going to happen next year. There's a certain continuity frame that goes through. But most likely your truth is calling you in a way that says your next move is this, and I want to make it happen fast. And you'd be amazed how fast you can switch your life circumstances around in 6 to 8 weeks. That's kind of the time frame, providing you show up consistently. You can change your body quite consistently in 6 to 8 weeks, correct? You're not going to do it in 3 workouts, but 6 to 8 weeks, you're giving it time to move. Same with the quantum field, providing you do the discipline. Now, it doesn't mean to say you've got to be on point 24/7. You can do the gym 3-4 hours a week and get significant results. In fact, you probably compromise results with more than that. Would you agree? 3 to 4 hours out of 167 hours. And you can get a major shift in your physicality. Well, the quantum field is similar. You put in a small amount of time, the ripple effects are ongoing. You don't have to be meditating 23 hours a day. So when it comes to those 7 steps, if all you did was follow, get good at them, make one of them a habit for your next 30 days, whatever it may be, practice lowering importance, practice letting go of your sense data. Now, this is where I'm going to be heading into moving forward. I have a little bit of news for you, and that is that I'm likely going to do one more of these events as the last time. I'm not going to be doing an MBS. I'll do one more because I probably owe it to people to have it as the last one. Right? But my passion, my heart, my calling, my truth is pulling me into teaching more people how to understand rule sets so they can stop getting out of, or get out of the anxiety or the mud or the stuckness of by me and dropping into to me and catching their breath and running the cycle. Because when you start getting results at this level and and you get inspired by it, you don't go back. It's too easy. Once you're aware of diet and exercise, you don't blame whatever it is you blame for what you look like. You simply adapt yourself to the rule set. You follow? So that's why next year I'm moving more into things like the manifesting, the 5-day challenge, deeper levels of understanding this rule set, teaching deeper levels of what the secret society teach to small groups of people so that they can go out and actually be the example and invitation and create majesty to inspire others. I mean, how many people has one man here called George inspired today? Right? And as I said, if he can do that from a kid in Mozambique that doesn't speak English, what excuse have we got? Not going to happen. So I mentioned this yesterday to my trainers and my EMF. I created a foundation program a few years ago that really goes through how to master these 7 steps in detail, and it was part of what I used to charge, £50,000, $70,000 back then, to actually go through, and we traveled on those trips, like the one in South Africa where I met George. And I really wanted to drill down on mastering the basics because that's all you really need to do. You don't need to get fancy-schmancy. You don't have to go 33rd degree Freemason level after a lifetime of anything. Just master the basics. And so I created the Master Circle back then for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to teach this because it's so powerful. It's so much more better than trying to teach people how to build a business, which is why we do this on day one, not teach you sales and marketing. Right? But I also wanted to be able to have other people, create amazing trips to places I'd always wanted to go. So why not do that? I love to teach. Always wanted to go and swim in Devil's Pool on the Victoria Falls and chase Northern Lights and everything else. So why not get other people to fund that while they're getting huge value and I get to teach as well? That was kind of my impetus. But I get to teach at a high level, not business stuff, not even EMF stuff, beyond that, the high-level metaphysics. The challenge was it was a year's program. And if somebody joined at the beginning of the year, they went through all 4 trips. If somebody came in halfway through the year, they did the next 2 trips and the first 2 trips of the previous year. You follow? And the problem was that when I was going to teach this stuff, if somebody had just come in, they were new, and people had joined 3 trips ago and they were advanced, there was an incongruency. I couldn't teach the advanced stuff to the new people, and I didn't want to teach the basic stuff to the advanced people. So I created this program called the Quantum Alignment Foundation course that covers some really strong basics so that everybody has a foundation. And I used to teach that, make people go through that before they came on the trip, so we were all at a certain level.